Hey gang, Wiggy here. Hey listen, Norma and I really appreciate you stopping by to check out Curation Domination and trying to get an idea of the techniques that Norma and I teach you in Curation Domination about how to curate content for your niche blogs. But you might be wondering, really, what is content curation in the first place? I mean, what are these techniques that Norma and I teach you? Well, let me show you an example to really drive it home so you can get an idea of not only what curation is and what we teach in Curation Domination, but how it can benefit you. Now, you recognize this magazine, right? Cosmo magazine, the women's sleaze rag you see on all the newsstands and at the checkout line at the grocery store. Huge magazine, right? They've got a massive website to go along with it. Tons of authority, tons of credibility. Everybody knows who these guys are, right? Sure. Answers.com, Wiki Answers. A lot of people know who these people are, right? Huge site, massive credibility, massive authority. People from literally all over the world come to this site to ask questions because they know they're going to get real answers back. They're going to get real feedback. They're going to get real answers. They're going to get their questions solved, right? You know who this guy is. I mean, if you're into internet marketing, you're an entrepreneur into fitness. Hell, if you walked into a bookstore the past, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 years, you know who this guy is. Tim Ferriss. Guy behind the 4-Hour Workweek, 4-Hour Body, now the 4-Hour Chef. I mean, this guy, I don't need to tell you who this guy is. But as big and authoritative and big name and everything else as, you know, Cosmo and Answers.com and Tim Ferriss is, you know who the real granddaddy of them all is? Boom. This guy. This site. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who the hell is this? What the hell is this, right? This is one of my own personal little niche blogs in the fitness niche. Now, you might be saying, okay, so what the hell? Who cares? How is this, you know, the granddaddy, quote unquote, over, you know, Cosmo Magazine and Tim Ferriss and Answers.com? Well, the reason why this is the granddaddy, why my site is better than theirs, or at least I think so, is that it's their content I have on my site, not the other way around. See, usually people go out and they try to write for the big names, you know, try to submit, you know, an article to Cosmo Magazine or submit to Tim Ferriss or something else like that. See, I don't go that way. I don't play like that. I go the other way around. I get them to create content for me. I mean, look, this is a page directly off my site. And what do you see? You see Tim Ferriss's name. You see his picture there. You see content from his site on mine, not the other way around. Now, how did I do it? How did I get Tim Ferriss's information, or how did I get his content on my site? How did I get him to create me content? Because I got the same thing from Answers.com, and I got the same thing from Cosmo Magazine. I've got all those guys creating me content. But how did I do it? With the techniques that Norma and I teach in Curation Domination. It's just basic content curation. Now, when I do have to admit, I have to completely come clean. When I say that I got them to create me content, it's not like, you know, I've got Tim Ferriss' cell phone number and I texted the guy and said, hey, dude, I need an article, pow, pronto. You know, it doesn't work like that. You know, what Norma and I do, really, we're kind of like this guy. You know, we're kind of like a thief, believe it or not. We go out and we take the content or we find content from authoritative sources like Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Workweek, Cosmo Magazine, Answers.com, just like I did on that niche blog I showed you. We go out, we find content we like, and, well, honestly, we just take it. You know, we steal it. Although it's legal, it's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'll tell you why in a second. But we just see what we want. Norma and I go out, and we just grab it. You know, kind of like this old DuckTales thief, right? Now, I know a little bit about what you're thinking here. This kind of sounds counterintuitive, right? Shouldn't be going the other way around? I mean, I know I've done that years ago in a niche outside of internet marketing. I went to establish myself as an authority, and so I, you know, bent over backwards trying to get articles submitted to real authoritative sites, not articles directories or, you know, blog sites or anything else like that. I mean, real authoritative sites within my niche, you know, real big name, you know, stuff like that. And I mean, I had to bend over backwards just to get my emails read, and then I had to convince them of who I was and see if I could get a hold of an editor of a site and all this other kind of stuff. And in fact, now I was able to be successful with it, made it work. In fact, I even had my own column at a site for off and on a number of years. But the problem is I was the one doing all the work. I had to create the content. I had to come up with what to write. I had to write it. I had to submit it to them. And then in the end, they're the ones benefit. They're the ones getting the readers. The content was ending up on their site. Well, wouldn't it be easier to turn that around and have them creating the content for you? Go take the content from them and stick it on your site so you're the one to benefit? That's what content curation allows you to do. You go right out, go to their sites, find what you want, pull it from there, stick it on your site, boom, you're done. They're the ones working for you, not the other way around. The other great thing about content curation is that there's no more wasted money. Now, I know, and you know, that tons of people, you've probably done it, I've done it, I know Norma's done it, have wasted God knows how much money on just lousy, terrible quality outsourced articles. I mean, they come back and they sound like some guy that has, spoken English for about, 3 days, has written this stuff, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's just horrible. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that anymore either, because content curation is absolutely free. The content's quality. It's quick. It's easy. I mean, it's literally going to solve all your content creation problems, issues, needs, and it's going to create instant credibility, instant authority, because you're relying on these big names. I mean, if people come to that niche blog that I showed you, do they know who I am? Maybe. Probably not. No big deal. But guess what? Do they know who Tim Ferriss is? Yeah. Have they heard of Answers.com? Yeah. Do they know Cosmo Magazine? Yeah. So, isn't it easier for me to rely on their big names than have to try and establish one for myself? I think so. So, that's why Norma thinks the same way. So that's why we do it. Now, I don't want you to think that this is some sort of a scam, because there's probably somebody out there saying, oh, well, this is some sort of dirty trick or a black hat technique or a this or a that, or this is bad or underhanded or whatever. No, and that's just simply not the truth. I mean, this is totally legit, on the up and up, and I can prove it to you because you are probably consuming curated content from massively huge websites every single day and you don't even realize it. How about the Huffington Post, TMZ, ABC News, New York Times, NBC Sports, AOL.com, the Time Magazine website? All these guys curate content, do the exact same thing Norma and I teach in Curation Domination. They do it every single day. They do it with videos, they do it with pictures, they do it with articles, they do it with who knows how much. And yeah, I can show you examples from every single one of these sites, and it would take me a matter of minutes. So trust me, what these guys are doing, we're doing, only we're doing it specifically for niche blogs, and we're going to show you how to do it too. Take a look what we have to offer below, and we'll see you on the inside.